What's up, everyone, and welcome back to Movie Raised. Fans are not really satisfied with the end of 365 Days. This day. From miscarriages to a different version of Massimo and betrayal, here is why 365 Days 3 is about to change everything. Warning, spoilers ahead. Is Laura alive? Before we get into details about the future of the fan-favorite couple, let's talk about the second installment and its, success. The sequel to the first film is the #1 spot on Netflix's top 10 movies in the US list, meaning that it reached the success of its predecessor. But according to some fans, this film is, as they call it, a disaster. Disaster is not a harsh word once you see what the critics had to say about the continuation. If you decide to check Rotten Tomatoes reviews, you'll see that the film currently has a 0% tomato meter score, which is a rare instance. According to Variety, 365 Days, this day, is piping hot trash. Now, I know the film is not wow, perhaps it lacks plot, perhaps the dialogue is nowhere to be found, but we didn't really expect to see Godfather Part 4, right? If you ask me, 365 Days, this day, does a good job as a film for Netflix and chill, in a literal sense. Maybe the creators could have included fewer songs, so it doesn't feel like we're watching a music video. But then again, we all tuned in for Massimo and Laura. Oh yes, I almost forgot the new addition, Nacho. Anyway, after seeing the end of the film, fans had two questions in mind. Is Laura alive? Will there be a third 365 Days movie? Yes and yes. Let's get into more details.
If I understand correctly, we have to talk about the business after the new year. And today,
is there a release date? Before we talk about the plot, we wanted to satisfy your curiosity about the third film's release date. Thankfully, the continuation has been already confirmed and filmed, with the second and third movies filmed back-to-back from May to June 2021. This means that the third film will be released sooner than we expected. Netflix confirmed that the two films are slated for release on the network globally in 2022. A precise release date is not known yet, but our guess is that the continuation will premiere sometime in December. The movies were filmed in Poland and Sicily, so expect to see more scenes of the beautiful Sicily in the next installment.
Don't think about it. You're safe here.
Nacho will come back. Netflix already confirmed that Anna Maria Sieklucka and Michele Morrone will come back to reprise their roles for the third installment as Laura and Massimo, respectively. This proves that the female protagonist is alive at the end of the sequel. But what about Simone Susina? Will he come back as Nacho? Yes. Viewers were torn between Susina and Michele Morrone, and fans have gone into an ongoing debate about who Laura should choose, but we'll talk about that later in the video. We also know that Magdalena Lemparska and Adhar Saraziz will be back as Laura's friend Olga and Massimo's loyal friend and employee Domenicio, respectively. The third installment is likely to feature a wedding between these two. That's all you need to know about the cast. Now, let's talk about something much more complicated.
You ruined everything since the moment you hid the truth from me. And I'm done with guys who think that they can do whatever they want.
Shocking plot. The sequel was all about Laura. She led the film with her being given two of the most handsome men on the planet as love interests. With the introduction of Massimo's evil twin brother, Adriano, things got awfully complicated. Because of this evil twin, the female protagonist thought her beloved husband cheats on her with his ex. This was Adriano, but before she discovered the truth, she spent some time with this new guy, Nacho. Naturally, she developed feelings for him, and the sequel ended with her being shot by Anna. This is a similar ending to the first film, with Laura being involved in a cliffhanger that makes her future quite uncertain, because there will be a third film. Laura will survive, but she'll have to tell Massimo that she lost their baby during the accident at the end of the first movie. So yeah, there comes the first fight between our dear protagonists. Since the threequel will again be based on the book by Blanka Lipińska, you need to hear the synopsis. As the wife of Don Massimo Torricelli, one of the most dangerous mafia bosses in Sicily, Laura's life is a roller coaster. She is often at risk, the potential target of Massimo's unscrupulous enemies who will stop at nothing to destroy the powerful man, it reads. And when Laura is seriously injured in an attack, pregnant and fighting to survive, Massimo faces the toughest decision of his life. What will his life be without Laura? Will he be able to raise their children alone? What will the fate of his family be, and whose 365 days may come to a close? This is confusing, right? I mean, the seriously injured thing already happened, but was Laura pregnant? We don't think so. It looks like the creator of the film decided to make a few changes to the plot. The third book's English translation will come out in September 2022, but fans who have already read it are very disappointed by it. Wonder why? Several plot twists. Here's the thing, we begged Netflix to create a different story for the last installment of 365 Days. If the third film stays loyal to the source material, well, we're screwed. And while we're here, we wanted to ask Netflix to use fewer songs in the next film and more dialogue. Please. Other than that, we're good. Feel free to share your hopes for the next film down in the comments. We really want you to remember that these videos are made in order for fans to express themselves. This is where you can freely use your voice. That way, creators of films and TV shows will perhaps understand what fans want and don't want to see. Now, let's see what happens in the third book. Titled The Next 365 Days, the third and final installment in the novel series begins with Massimo trying to save Laura from the attack, but he is faced with a difficult decision. He needs to either save her or their unborn baby. Massimo decides to save the love of his life, but never tells her that he needed to choose between her and the baby. She believes she lost her baby naturally. Because of that, she starts drinking, and drinking, and drinking, something like Hardin Scott. Yes, the guy from the After franchise. Aside from developing an alcohol addiction, Laura is unable to emotionally connect with Massimo. He's pretty busy with his job and his wife doesn't get the attention she deserves. This problem is solved by her adopting a dog named Prada. But since the couple is in a terrible marriage, Massimo starts using drugs. He also develops an addiction, and this is when Laura decides to date Nacho. She is happy with Nacho, but Massimo is not. In order to get revenge, he kills Prada and sends the lifeless dog to his ex in a package. After some time, Massimo sees his ex at Olga and Domincio's wedding. Only this time, Massimo is with another girl, which drives Laura crazy, so she goes back with her ex. When they get home, Massimo tells her that he was no one that killed the dog, and Laura decides to return Nacho. They get married, and by the end of the book, it's revealed that they are expecting their first child. This is it. This is the story's conclusion, and we believe that there are lots of you who hope the creators will decide to follow a different story. A story in which Massimo is not this cruel, selfish, heartless jerk. As you already know, the 365 Days movies are based on the trilogy of novels by Blanka Lipińska. The first film is based on the first book, and the second film is based on her second novel, This Day.
Where's Massimo?
It's not too far. Not too far.
We really don't know how loyal Netflix will stay to the source material, but since there were several changes in the film so far, we expect to see an original story for the next installment. Hopefully. What do you guys think is the main reason for all those negative reviews about This Day? What are your hopes for the next installment? Let us know in the comment section below. If you enjoyed our video, make sure you like this channel and subscribe so you'll never miss any of our videos in the future. As always, thanks for watching.